Okay, everyone, now it's time to do some of our floor work. Remember, when you get up and down off the floor, we want to be very careful. Our way that we're getting down is by going into this lowered stance with one leg up, one leg down, um, and then coming to a tabletop position. That way we're not using our back, okay? So we're going to start on the floor on our backs. We're going to go feet in line with our hips. And in this position, I want your knees at approximately like a 90-degree angle. And I want you to push your lower back into the mat. And you do this by kind of like tucking your tailbone. You should feel the change in your pelvis. This gives us a more neutral spine. We don't want to arch and have a big gap between our lower back and the mat, okay? So we want to actively push our lower back into the mat. This helps engage our core. We're now going to put our hands on our thighs, and we're going to just keeping that low back pressed into the mat. We're going to slide our hands up to our knees and come back down. We're going to do this for 15, okay? If 15 reps. So here we go. We're going to slide up and down with control. We're keeping our lower back actively pressed into the mat. Our feet are staying in contact with the floor. You should be feeling this in your upper abdominal muscles. And I want you to think about exhaling as you come up. Inhale on the way down. Okay, so here we go. Exhale, inhale. Slow and controlled. We're not pulling with our head. We're just lifting those shoulder blades up off the ground. Low back is still pressed into the mat. Give me 3 more. 1 and 2. Good, last 1. 3. Excellent. Now, we're going to rest and set up for our next one. We're still going to be on our back. This one we're calling a dead bug, okay? So in the dead bug position, we're going to go knees come up to 90-degree angle. Our knee is over our hip and our feet are just in the air. Our knees are also hip distance apart. And then we put our hands up like this, so we look like a dead bug. Again, we're pressing our lower back into the mat, okay? Our lower back is always staying in contact with that floor. Now in this position, we have a couple different options, okay? We can either do just the legs, we're extending out and in. You can do leg and an arm. We can go like opposite leg, opposite arm. That one makes your brain work. Or we can hold and just do one side at a time, okay? So a couple different options. Right now for this first set, I'm gonna do just my legs and I'm gonna keep my hands up, okay? I'm gonna do 10 on each side. And the trick here is when you lower your leg, you only wanna lower it as far as you can go while maintaining that lower back staying pressed into the ground, okay? So only lower your leg as far as you can while you maintain that pressure, okay? Here we go. We're gonna do 10 on each leg. I'm just keeping my hands up in this position. This helps me keep a nice flat back. All right, so let's go. We're extending and coming back to that starting position. Nice and slow. Remember, this is a very controlled movement. You should feel the deep core muscles working. We also are working those lower abdominal muscles. Good job. Breathe. Push your back into the mat. Make sure you actively are pressing it into the mat all the time. Couple more. We're almost there. Knees are coming back to that starting position over your hips. And last one's right here. One more each side. Nice work. Good job. Now we're going to go feet back to the mat, feet in line with our hips. We've done glute bridges before, but now we're going to do glute bridge with a march. Okay, so we're going to go feet in line with our hips, hands flat on the mat, and we're going to lift our hips up. Now, we only lift as high as we can to the point of just like a neutral spine. Again, we don't want to arch our spine, so we don't want to come up so high that we're creating pressure in our lower back. We want to just have a neutral spine. Squeeze your glutes, and we're going to lift one foot off the ground at a time. Just give it a little march. You're actively pressing into the ground with the other foot. We're lifting, and our hips are staying off the ground this whole time. What this does is it makes you use your hamstrings, your glute muscles, and your pelvic floor muscles, okay? This is a really good pelvic floor exercise. Get those deep core muscles. Remember, we're not arching our back, our hips are just lifted. Drive the knee up. Make sure we're not just kicking the foot up. We want the movement to happen at the hip. All right, give me 3 more on each leg. Here's 2. Hips stay up. And 3. Lower slowly. And rest. Good job. Okay, now it's time to do a second set of those same exercises. So we're on the floor. We're starting in a position with our feet in line with our hips, starting with those crunches. Okay, we're gonna hands on our thighs, press your lower back into the mat, and we're gonna slide them up and touch our knees. Shoulder blades are coming off the ground. Remember, your feet are actively pressing into the ground. Your big toe, your pinky, and your heel are your points of contact with your feet. And here we go. Let's tuck our tailbone. Low back presses into the mat. We're actively engaging our core like this. Hands on our thighs. And let's go for 15, okay? Here we go. Lift and down. Up, down. It's a very subtle movement. Shoulder blades lifting off the ground. Our eyes are looking at the ceiling so that we're maintaining a good position with our cervical spine. We don't want to like tuck our head or look up super high, because then that's going to create a pinch in our cervical spine. We're lifting our chest. Exhale on the way up and inhale on the way down. 5 more. Here we go. 5, 4, low back press. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Okay, now we're going to do a different variation of dead bug than we did the first time. We're going to go legs up. Again, starting position is knees over your hips, feet at 90-degree angle. This time I'm going to hold my right hand to my right knee, and I'm going to actively press my hand into my knee and my knee into my hand. And I'm still pressing down, pressing my lower back into the mat. Now my left arm is going to extend up, and I'm going to straighten my left leg and reach my left arm over my head at the same time, and then come back to center. Okay, the whole time I'm still holding pressure with my right side. We're going to do 10 on each side. Ready? And let's go. Extend and come back to center. Lower back stays pressed into the mat, and I'm actively pressing my hand into my knee on that right side, you should feel some tension on your right side of your body, which is great. This is an isometric contraction. And then on the left side, we're extending only as far as we can while maintaining our lower back position in contact with the ground. Here we go. 2 more. Reach and come back. This is a very slow and controlled movement. Now we're going to switch sides. Left hand to left knee, right hand up. Actively press your left hand into your left knee. Lower back presses into the ground. And we extend with control and come back to center. Reach. This is really good for those deep core muscles. We're stabilizing the core on one side, and then we're moving it on the other. Also good for your brain. Here we go. Reach. Remember, only reach that leg out as far as you can while keeping your lower back on the ground. Give me 2 more. Here's 9 and 10. Nice work. Okay, bring those feet down to the mat. We have glute bridge marches. One more time. So feet in line with your hips, hands to the floor. We're going to lift our hips, but we're not going super far that we're going to arch our lower back, okay? We're just hips off the ground. Keep them off the ground, and then drive the knee up, pressing the opposite foot into the mat. Keep those hips up. We're doing 10 on each side. Nice work. Keeping all points of contact, our toes, our heels are pressing into the floor. Drive with the knee. This way we ensure that the movement happens at our hip and that we're actively using our hamstrings and our glutes. And this is also a really good exercise for your pelvic floor muscles. Here's 9 and 10. Lower slowly. Good job. This is a good way to get up. You can grab the back of your knee and kind of rock your way up. That way we're not straining our lower back. Good job today.